Okay, this is for Dominic in Pennsylvania. So this is going to be your new Stryker 955 HPC Plus. I'm going to use this Stryker mic with it when I test it out later. I've never used one of these, so I've had them. I've sold a good amount of them over the last year or so, but I never really tried one. So I did try one yesterday, and what I found on these, for what I think anyways, is I needed to pull the whole thing apart, take it all out, and basically the little electret condenser that they're using, they got it stuck in between some foam for, I guess, the noise canceling part of it, but they got it pushed up way too far in the foam, so it's basically pushed up like right to the grill almost. So what I did is pull that back so that foam, there's like a shaft where the condenser can slide in and out. I pushed it all the way back, and then not all the way to the point where it would fall out, but close enough where it's in there and it's not going to move. And now the mic sounds a whole lot better. All I can say about these is I'm not really sure where they were going with the controls on the inside, the volume and the tone, because I don't see much going on with it. And I'm using a mic tester with a good speaker in it, and usually when you start changing tone levels and volume levels, you get some type of reaction to the sound. And I don't really see much with this. And I was turning and turning, I mean 50 times. I counted 50 revolutions and didn't notice any change on either one. So I'm not sure what they were going for on that, but I do have some of these available. I have lowered the price on them. They're not really doing much for me, so at a certain point I'm thinking about maybe later, if you buy a Stryker radio, I might just throw one of these in, and that could be something later. This one, obviously, I'm not going to throw it in for your Dominic. I'm just saying maybe in the future, if I don't get any movement on these in the next couple months or something, I'll probably end up doing that, and that'll be listed on the website. If you see it on the website where I actually say, like, you buy a Stryker radio, I'm going to throw in a Stryker mic, then that's when you would get it, not just because I'm talking about it now. Whatever you might see on these videos and stuff, it doesn't really matter what's said on the videos, because you could watch a video of mine that's 2 years old, and I might have said whatever back then versus what's happening now. You have to go to my website, and that's where you're going to see what's happening now, as far as if there's any specials or anything like that. So stuff like that sometimes I do, because I frankly just want the stuff out of here. And as long as I break even on it, I'd rather break even than just have stuff sitting here. I don't have a ton of those microphones or anything, but for what they are, I didn't think it sounded too bad with that element pushed back like I did. I think it sounded pretty good, and somebody could do that themselves. It could take you 5 or 10 minutes to do it. Take the mic apart and do that, and then I think it sounds okay. I mean, even without any adjustability on those controls, the mic does sound pretty good. So, alright, enough about that. I'm going to get this one set up, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, Dominic, so we got your radio all set up. You can see for the frequency option. So I just did some programming with the computer. Anything I did there, if you don't like it, you can change it with the cable that the radio comes with, and the software you can get off the Stryker Radio's website. Just to show you, got all the bands and stuff. You do have the UK FM band here, like I've put in the other ones. So the VFO option on this radio will give you the full 12 meter and also the full 10 meter if that's something you want to do. I don't think most guys buy these for those options, but they're there if you want them, so that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, everything else is pretty self-explanatory in the menu of these radios and stuff. Again, I'm going to use this mic with it, this SR76. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think of those mics out there, but I mean, obviously I wish that the adjustments inside, I mean, they stress that in the manual that comes with it about how they are going to, they say that you can overmodulate the mic. There's no way on God's green earth that I can make myself overmodulated with this mic. It can't happen. So I don't understand that. Maybe there was a disconnect between how they wanted it made and how it was made, but I don't know. I'm not knocking the mic. I mean, the mic works and stuff, but it's interesting is all I can say. So what we're going to do now is just go in and set up the radio and the alignment portion, and then we'll see how it turns out. I mean, they're usually about 100-watt radio. These radios for what guys would want for the higher powered kind of CB slash ham kind of radio, this is probably the best of the best right now out there as far as, you know, what it gives you on AM and sideband quality performance and stuff like that. I mean, you're not going to find anything else that's going to beat it as far as, you know, power wise. I mean, maybe something on AM might come close or even be better, but then you're probably not going to get as good on sideband from another brand. That being said, with the real alignment on another brand, I'm pretty happy with the one that I'm using for a base station. So it's met every expectation that I could want and then some. So I'm very happy with it. But that being said, I don't generally like to run mobile radios so much for my base. I like to use a base. So what I'm trying to say is, if these guys would ever get off, and somebody that deals with the company that makes these radios for them, whatever, just realize, hey, we need a base station. I mean, it's the time is here. You know, the solar cycle 25, I think, is what we're on. It's going to end, and I think a lot of the interest in these kind of radios is going to steadily decline. And when it declines, then obviously nobody will want to buy radios, because a lot of guys are buying radios solely for the skip and all that stuff, because, you know, it's a lot of fun and everything, but there'll still be the die-hard guys like me and probably many others that watch my channel that will still enjoy using the frequencies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's wow, this one's way off frequency for one of these kind of radios here. Let's go up to the counter and take a look. Here's the counter. So she's quite a bit high on frequency, so that's kind of strange, but I can fix that. So let me do that. Let's see what that did. One more maybe. Not that 20 hertz is the end of the world, but you would like to see it closer to 0, 0. That's good there. Alright. Fix that up for you. So yeah, all I'm trying to say is, you know, like, let's get a base station made, and let's do it the right way, and you know, FM power high. It's close enough to 50. Low, about 1. FM mod. So again, on these, we just basically turn it up all the way. I hate to say that, but in this regard, yes, you do. You just turn up the setting all the way, and that gives us our 3.95 or something FM mod that, you know, would like to see. So I just want to check it just because, but yep, I love base stations. That, you know, for me, I'd rather talk on a base station, even if it isn't the best radio in the world. If I can align it and make it work as good as it possibly can, which I've done with mine, I mean, to me, it's just the presentation of a base station. Just you can't beat it. And those big, fancy looking, maybe not fancy to some, but I think they're fancy looking with the rack handles and all that stuff. It's pretty cool to look at. Alright, so we got our deviation set. So yeah, it's about 3.9, whatever, 6 or something. 3.94. And that's the extent of it. If you turn it up anymore, it just shuts off. So, yep, So that part's done. On to the AM power. Sorry if it looks crooked, I don't know. I'm not the best radio man or video maker, but just cover everything here and get it done. Let's see, AM power. I'm going to leave this one up, I think, where it's at as well. And then low, about 1 watt. That's good there. Okay, now we'll do our AM mod settings. Get that to sit like that. And now let's put AM on that. It's already there, I think. So I made that say 120, so up here is 120%, 120%, so it's 75% right now. There's 100%. You can basically see the flat line even on this. You can also see the distortion kick up from the overmod. So you don't even really need an oscilloscope on this piece of test gear here. You could do it without it. But I'll hook the probe back up to the scope. Just so I can see what it looks like. And it's flat-lined right now, so we don't want that. And you can see it's flat-lined there too. So I'll go. It's worse. It's a very aggressive AM modulating radio. See how it flattens out? That's about the extent of it right there. So it's about 97% on low power. And trust me, when you speak with voice, it's going to go well above that. So into your mic, you're going to exceed 100% easy with this radio. So that's good there. Now I'll go to the high power setting. And this is going to probably be off the chart on the scope. Yeah. So get that back kind of normal. Just see where it is first. It's about 93% right now. So you can watch the distortion here and here. If this increases a lot, that's just distortion. It makes the power meter get happy. You can see how it's starting to come out. Like right there, you can hear it now. The distortion of the tone is 105%, but that's total garbage, full on everything. So the reason why you don't want to do that And then obviously here, when you hear, a simple way, if you buy a radio from somebody and you have the ability to put a 1 kilohertz test tone in, and you do it and you just hear the tone like oscillating through the components of the radio, then you know that you're over mod, regardless of, you know, whatever else they say or they did or didn't do or whatever. That's a good sign right there. Notice how even at 98% that noise is gone. You guys probably don't hear it, but believe me when I say it's there. So there's 100% right there of the tone. Still looks pretty good there, but let's come over here and see how it looks. So we'll figure out what's the best way for this one. It's really close to being too much, but because you, again, remember with your voice you're going to far exceed this anyway, so let's see if we can't just kind of smooth it out a little bit, maybe like that. That's good. So that's basically it. If we scroll down and look at our top, still looks nice and round. Our middle is nice and round, but it's very much NPC-like in a way. And our bottom looks nice and round, so we really can't do much better than that. And then, you know, it still looks okay there, because everything down here in the next, where the channel is well below 0. And we're at 99.5%, so really we can't do much better than that. Our average setting is on the meter right now. We're drawing a maximum of about 8 amps, and we're at about somewhere in the 40s. So it's almost double. And with the test tone, it's about 80. Obviously, when I put this mic on here, which I'll do really quick. Hello, test 1, 2. Hello, test 1, 2. Hello. It's closer to 100, and that's why I'm saying we're far exceeding what the test tone allowed the radio to limit to. And that's why we get that higher power. That's the only reason why, really, just because of that. And my spectrum analyzer saying that I'm at 103 to 105% audio right now. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, check, check, hello. But that's basically how we would set it up for the most aggressive AM. Now, if you want to turn your mic gain down some, you can. And when you turn it down some, I mean, you don't really lose any power or anything like that. So you have to turn it down quite a bit. And really, even turning it back quite a bit doesn't do much. So there's off. So the funny thing is about these radios, they still modulate even with the control off. So that is kind of strange to me. Now, this is in the test mode. I don't know if it'll do that in the regular radio mode. So maybe it won't. Because I think the mic gain in the test mode is all the way up all the time. It's set like that on purpose, so we'll come to find out what it's going to do in a little bit here once I do the sideband thing now. So let's just do that for you, and we'll get this done. So I believe that in the service portion of all these radios, you cannot use your mic gain. It doesn't function, so. Sideband. This is another point of emphasis on these radios that really needs to be addressed because they're very, very bad out of the box. just a little bit more so I can see. There we go, that's better. Alright, so now we just want to level these two off. It's pretty darn close there. That's really close. So this is how it looks over here. Not very good. And the radio's drawing right now about 12 amps. So it's definitely drawing way too much current. And that's why, you know, the power is almost 75 watts average, which is way too much. So what we're going to do now is take a look at this, the test that's being performed now. So here about 12, which we want to make that at least 20 for a more respectable output and better signal. And look at that current. You guys couldn't see, but the current now has dropped to 8 amps. So we definitely are, you know, drawing less current, which is good. The radio's running more linear, less current, same power. I would much rather have less current draw and around the same power than I would more current draw in the same power. So everything's running better now, more efficiently. So 21 is good for this. Anything more than that, no one's going to notice the difference on the output side anyways, but you can see how much nicer that looks. And let me magnify it a little bit so we can actually see the roundness of it. Just changing how it looks is all. So there you go. Much nicer now. And now the radio's doing about 40 average. And it's drawing about 7 amps. And that's the way it should be. So let's get out of here. Come back. And got a nice hot heat sink on the back, which is good. It's taking all the heat out of the radio. We'll go right to sideband. Let's see if this mic gain works now. Pretty sure it will. Hello radio, yeah, nothing, so good. Hello radio, 1 2 3 1 2 3, hello 1 2 1 2, hello, check check, hello. So it's not going to really go up much more than 40, so just be aware of that. Okay. Hello radio, this is upper sideband, by the way. You can see we're right around that 4 kilohertz mark is what the radio is set to, I believe, in the menu. Actually, it's going to be more like 20 to 30 on the display. So whatever that display shows, it's never going to be accurate. Even when it was grossly over adjusted, I think they only show about 60 out of the box. So hello radio, 1 2 3 4 5, check check, hello. So we'll go over to the power meter right there. Hello radio, 1 2 3 4 5, check 1 2, check 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. So again, we're not looking for banging 100 watts out of this thing every single time I say a word. We're looking for max efficiency on sideband, and as anybody knows, with the sideband transceiver, the more expensive Yaesus and ICOMs and Kenwoods and all that of the world, you're never going to get that full power every single time you speak. And you got to have a good peak reading meter, number one, to see that kind of power anyway. So you set these up for max efficiency, they work much better on sideband. And that's what we're getting there. So on AM, this radio is now doing about the same. Really, it's not going to do much more, but the amp meter on the I don't know, you guys probably can't see that, maybe you can, but it's keying about 6 amps, and it's swinging to almost 8. So we got a little swing on our thing, on our Astron amp gauge there. So that's kind of cool. But, you know, the radio is doing exactly what it should. A little bit more audio now. And if we back this RF power down, let's say to, I don't know, go like 8 watts. If I put this right here into my, I have an amplifier. It's a Blanco built out of Alabama. If I put this into that, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hello, check, check, it would drive it perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hello. Because that amp likes about 8 watts of dead key on AM, and about 8, 9 watts gives me about 100 watts of 100 watts of dead key, and then when I modulate, with this radio modulating into that, would probably give me 8, 900 out easy. So, you know, it's all about what you want, but this would be a perfect match for that, although my 69 Base Plus does an excellent job, so I don't really worry too much about it. But, you know, it's all about what you want and what you want to do with your setup. So that's running a Russian tube, GI 46B, just a single tube, and it's a beast. And I don't run it that much, but it is fun once in a while to click around and let it hammer out there a little bit. So I do understand that part of AM, and it's a lot of fun to do it when you want to do it. So you don't buy a 100-watt radio to run into a 203 or a 503 or something. It's not going to work out good, or a 703. You can't do it. So you got to buy a radio like this when you got something bigger that you want to run into it. You know, it's just the only way to do it. This mic, I don't know how this would sound over the air, but probably if I turn the monitor on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, check, check, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't sound bad, but monitors aren't really a good indication of how you sound over the air anyway, so I think the mic's doing okay. Obviously I moved that condenser element back in that foam thing to protect it. Or not really to protect it, to make it sound less muddy, because it was muffly and kind of muddy. So if you have one of these, take it apart if you feel the need to, and take that little condenser, which is pushed way up too close to the grill, and move it back some. I think it'll sound better for you. So let's hook this up to the antenna and then get this one on its way tomorrow. Obviously when it's hot, it's going to do a little less power anyways, as we all know when the MOSFETs heat up, they do a little less power. So that's the downside of a MOSFET. That GI46B Blanco belt's got a big blower fan on the back that's constantly cooling that tube, and that thing stays cool as a cucumber, as they say. And you can just talk on that thing, and it ain't gonna cut out on you. So again, it's a cool amp, but it's not something that you see every day, and it was offered to me and I couldn't pass it up. Alright, let's put this on the air. Don't know what's going on out there. I haven't been out there at all today. Anybody that has issues in their life with migraines, that's what I dealt with for a better part of the day today, so it was not fun. And sometimes they're on a scale of 10, today was an 11, so I don't know. Sometimes it's really bad, and I'm feeling better now, but most of the day is gone, which sucks. I'm curious to see if that A&L circuit removes noise. Now it's hard because I don't have noise like that in the house, only in the car. Not really pointing at Europe. Let me spin the antenna. Big difference it just made going to the horizontal versus the vertical too.
My copy data was to run about 12 watts. You are making it to Columbus, Ohio. You know where that is. I'm running ICOM 7300, the yellow Yagi on the flat side.
I did quite a bit of DXing yesterday on FM to the 19 division, which I think is Netherlands. I think that's Italy. I also got Italy a couple times too. There's a lot of DX from Europe on FM. A lot of Italy's been coming in lately. Italian to me sounds almost like Spanish, and I know it's anybody that would speak the two different languages would say absolutely not, but it's hard when you don't have an ability to comprehend a different language because they kind of sound the same to me, and I know they're not, but I think that's Dutch. I'm running a low pass filter, and that's why I'm not picking up my NOAA weather here. So I have a feeling if I disconnected that, I would pick it up. But the filter's working; it's blocking out interference, and that would be considered interference. So I run a low pass, and I also run a band pass off my base station. So I have a band pass and a low pass after the GI-46B. So I'm pretty much covered for anything. But yeah, I'm assuming that's why. So let me see if I can do this and just short it. Yeah, see? So when you kind of short the jack on the back, then it's not you're basically picking up, I think, off the center of or off the braid of the cable, kind of. So the WX does work. So if you're ever running a low pass on a radio, low pass filter, or a band pass filter, there could be a reason, why you're not picking up your NOAA that you think you should, and it's probably because of the filter. So, just keep that stuff in mind. But like I say, the radio's working good. Now I'm picking it up, so maybe it wasn't the filters. Am I running the filters? Let's see. No, right now I'm not running the filter. So, no, this is direct to the antenna only, so yeah. I wonder why it wasn't picking that up at first. No, actually I am running the filter if I track it. But anyways, the NOAA is working, so. But if it doesn't work here, I know because I'm running two filters. Band pass off my radio and a low pass off the amplifier, so I'm pretty much... I think there's actually a squelch setting too in here for your WX. But alright, Dominic, I made this video way too long, I think, so I'm going to get out of here and get your radio sent off to you tomorrow. So I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy it when you get it. 73.